This is Maribel Gonzalez with Cozumel Immigration Services Consulting and a facilitator of immigration here in Cozumel. Maribel, you introduce yourself?
Thank you, Cindy. My name is Maribel Gonzalez, and I am here in Cozumel. My company, Cozumel Immigration Consultant and more. Okay, we are right in Central and Calle 2 between Avenue 5 and 10. Close to the ferry, close to the square, for those that are new here in Cozumel. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit of Cozumel immigration and more. Any questions that you have, please let us know. Okay, I wanted to start with those people that already are residents in Mexico. Okay. Right now we are having, I don't want to say issues or problems, but we are having a little stuff going on with those people that leave the country and come back into Mexico for changes of administration here in Mexico, for changes of our system. Quite a few peeps out there are not receiving the correct stamp out and stamp back in on their system, on their website of immigration.
Okay, so the question is, what is it that we need to do as residents, either temporary or permanent, when we go to the airport, either Cancun or Cozumel, in order to check out?
Okay, so for Cancun, I will literally tell everybody not to go through those automatically checkouts. You have to go through a person, because I have had people that does that, okay? I know you're gonna want to leave, but let's go through a person. You have to get through a person and you ask politely, kind of smile. You're already a resident. You're already a Mexican. So you don't have to rush out, rush in. Show your passport, show your residency, talk to them, smile to them, make sure that they really understand and type in RT or PR on the website. A lot of people is like, how do I know that? Just show them. Just talk to them. They can understand or make sure, because some of them are new and some of them are in another place, not thinking. So let's make sure to have a good conversation, not beg just little to them. It's really important for all of you. We do not want to start all over.
And there's no option once that happens as a mistake. It is not going to be a blame game. It will simply be an issue that you must correct. Is that
Yes,
right?
That's correct.
Okay, and then what about checking back in? Is that the same true with checking back in?
Checking back in right now, yes, we go through the person at immigration. Now, some people are asking me, do we go through Mexican line? No, they were doing that to hurry back you know, up, but that is not good for us people. Well, for you guys, try to go to the tourist, the same line, try to talk to the immigration, stamp out, stamp back in. Just that's what I can tell you.
And show them your ID and talk to them again. I'm so happy to be back in Mexico. This is my home. Here's my residence card, whether it's a temporary or it's a permanent. Okay, and then?
Okay, so once you guys do that, then I did show a video about showing how to check on the website, to download or to check your entries. Your FMMN, which is the Visa Forma Migratoria. Some people did go through it and they checked, and you can see that sometimes it's in gray or sometimes it's expired. If you don't check between the first 10 days, it could be expired and you cannot see any of your info. About the gray or the color that you can download it, that's because yes, right now there's a lot of systems issues going on because of new administration. So that's the way to check.
Right. So I just tried. We'll put the link to that on the web, on this Facebook, and on the YouTube. I just tried and I got into that system where it was just, I can't download, but you could go to immigration and give them, it's the passport information that they're asking for. It's not your permanent or temporary resident card. And that's what she's saying. Double check your own status based on this link. And if you get where you can't download it, you can go to immigration, or as I understand, because you have a new president in Mexico, then they're adjusting some of the systems for that as well. So, another warning.
Another warning with residency is that if you guys, let's say you lose the residency, or you know they stole it, or you don't have it with you, or you didn't realize that it's not around, and then you want to try to fly out or go back to your country, please, if you're aware of that, try to get a replacement right away, because it is taking time. You are going to have to pay for the plastic, which is around 1,600-ish pesos at immigration, and it is going to be the application back again. You have to fill up information and all your application in the system, and you have to take photo and fingerprints back again. The process takes around from 5 to 7 business days. So if you wear that, please, if you lose it or you can't find it, let's get a replacement.
And if it was taken while you were out of the country and you don't have it because it was taken from you, you file a police report, is that correct?
Yes, you will have to file a police report, and you will have to go to the consulate and let them know what happened so they can stamp your passport and come and finish the process and get your replacement.
When you come back. So it's not an easy system.
No.
We were also talking about when to keep your residency card, whether temporary or permanent, in your possession. What's the status now?
I would recommend, if my people that are permanent or temporary here right now, and you live in Cozumel and you have a driver license, or even a Mexican driver license from any other state, I would recommend to keep your passport and your temporary safe in your house. Don't carry it. Your driver license is going to be good if you get stopped, which right now they're not stopping. Immigration is not checking. We can let you know as soon as I have any info if they're going to do that in the future.
Okay.
So.
As far as the appointments then that we have, you've got some other questions. And if you have some questions specific for Maribel, please go ahead and make those comments now while we have her live, and then we can address them right away. Tell anybody else as well that this is live and we can answer those questions. Go ahead, Maribel.
Okay. Another that I recommend to everybody is that if you, let's say we did your residency card and you were married at that time, now you're divorced, let's let immigration know. Let's let immigration know if you change address. Let's let immigration know if you are changing nationality, or you're using another passport to be able to leave the country and come back. Let's let immigration know anything that is going on in your information, the system, because if you do not, and for example, if you have to renew and you already have another passport, or you write down that you're married and you were divorced, then they charge you. It's around 40 pesos a day if you do not let them know before 90 days, especially the address. I know a lot of people doesn't have a property here and they still have an address from a hotel. That is fine. That is not, it's okay. But make sure that the next year that you're going to renew, this is for the renewal, that you have the same information that you had before, the same hotel. And come, if you're my client, come to me, because right now they are requesting a CFE or a CAPA or a lease original to be able to do this process. So we will have to work something out with the hotel or the Airbnb to be able to submit paperwork. They are requesting originals now for renewal.
That's just happened in the last few days.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions about any of that, again, if you have any questions right now, make comments here, and then certainly you'll be able to, Maribel will be able to address those as well. Driver's license.
Driver license, we still have people asking if the driver license in Quintana Roo are available to use in another states. Yes, they are already good to go. You don't have to be aware of anything. You don't have to get another driver license, so that is good. I recommend my permanent to be able to get a driver license, because if you are a permanent and you have a vehicle, you do need a Mexican driver license. If you are a temporary, you do not need a driver license, a Mexican driver license. You can still use your foreigner driver license. Why? Because right now they are only giving 5 months of driver license for temporary. We don't have 1 year. We only have 5 months for you guys, and it's not worth it because of the price is $1,200. So temporary to register a vehicle, it's good with your foreigner. Permanent, you do need a Mexican driver license. If it's first time, we do need a couple of exams. You can come to me. I'll do the process for you guys. We can help you. We also have a new requirement that you have to do a blood type test and a vision test. We have that too. We know the lab that is quick, fast, and you don't have to worry about it. So just come. We can help you with that process.
As well as the testing process.
Yes.
Because that's also a challenge, and you can attempt to do it yourself, or you can ask the group that's here. Your staff is your sister?
Yeah, my staff is my sister, that she is the one involved in immigration with the majority of the processes. I have a lawyer, which is Mark, that's working with me, and he's also attending school for law. We'll do that in front. And I have a secretary that she's going to be in charge of your appointments at consulates, appointments at immigration, because in other states, here in Cozumel it has not happened, but in other states and in other cities, you have to create or book an appointment to be able to assist to the immigration office. Here we still walk in. Let's hope that it continues. But in Playa, Cancun, all of those places, we have to book ahead of time. Yeah.
So if someone wanted to become a resident, what would you recommend as far as an area, or what's the situation currently as far as going to a Mexican consulate in the USA?
Okay, becoming a resident, Mexico always been having the first step is starting your consulate in your country. Right now, after COVID, we still have the program about 4 years with the document expired. I have lots of clients that are taking advantage of it because you don't have to show no income, no paperwork, only your address, which is with your bill, CFE bill or water bill. Now, going to the consulates right now, it's all of them for me are very good. Right now, a lot of people are not getting an appointment because with the new president, they are
with the new president of Mexico.
Yeah, in Mexico, not in India, in Mexico, they are focusing more on Mexicans that are immigrants in somewhere or other. Like for example, I am going to talk about in the U.S. We have lots around millions of Mexicans between 60 and 65 that have not received any benefits from Mexico. So now the consulates are getting focused on them, and they're giving their card to be able to receive those benefits. So they rather give appointments for Mexicans than for visas. Okay. So that's why we're having a little issues on booking appointments for visas in the consulates.
So what's the other option that people have in order to become part of the process for temporary and or resident permanent?
The other process is the one that we address after COVID. The 4-year temporary, it's called regularización migratoria. That means that if you come in, you get stamped at 180 days, and you have been in Mexico between the years 2015 and 2022, they updated, Okay, so if you have entries by flight, okay, only by flight, not by air, not by
by land.
boat or by land, only by flight. If you have entries in Mexico between those years, you qualify for the program. You let your document expire. A lot of people is like, oh, but I don't like to be expired in another country. It's a requirement. You guys are not getting kicked out or anything like that because it's a requirement that we have. But that doesn't mean that you have to stay, that you're going to stay a week or a month. No. That means that as soon as your 180 days are done, the next day we are at immigration already filling up your information, your paperwork. You will have a little interview, and in 7-10 business days, you can have your 4th year of temporary.
Okay, what happens if somebody's really only here for 30 days and then they overstay their time? Is it the same?
Yes, it is the same. You can come and talk to me because, yeah, that's how been happening. We don't, they have a rule in Cozumel that they only accept 180, but we can check on the passports if you have been here, if you have a lease, if you have stuff like that, we can try. And yes, it have been happening that you can get a 4-year temporary with 30 days.
Okay, we have a few more questions, and then we'll put this to another video format with some other pictures. But what happens, some of the general questions, do I lose my citizenship? What am I doing when I do a temporary or residency?
A temporary or permanent residency is like a tourist with benefits. You are not losing whatever you have in your country, which is your nationality, your money, your stuff that you have. You keep here in Mexico, you're entering like a tourist with benefits. It does not mean as a permanent that you have to live in Mexico. No, you can come and go as you please with temporary and permanent. For me, I recommend everybody to have a residency because especially from Cozumel, we get quite a few benefits and discounts with it. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And then nothing changes with our taxes either.
Nothing changes with taxes. The only thing that changes if you have a company, if you work for somebody with that you can be aware of that. We can let you know. You can have Social Security as well if you work. So there's another kind of benefits once you become a worker or an owner of a company here. For people has properties, yes, you have to pay your taxable properties, but you're paying roughly $300 a year. It's not much. So yeah, you are good. It's actually very good being temporary or permanent.
Well, I think we've covered pretty much most of the list, and so if you have any other questions, again, you can make comments here. Maribel is tagged so she can see it as well. And then again, this is your one and only, and I wish that we would have had this 18 years ago when I came to the island. So you have a professional consultant that's in front of you with staff that's informed and connected well within Cozumel. So please use the professionals. I just can't tell you enough that if someone wants to give you an advice and it's not in the person that I'm looking at right now, just use their advice, but also use them.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so thanks again for joining us, and again, thank you, Maribel, and your staff here for your professionalism.
Thank you very much, guys. So keep in touch, text me, even though if you're not working with me, we still help you. We have, like Cindy said, most of my people here around that I know, we have, communication with a lot of them, driver license, CAPA, CFE, immigration, airport, senior, INAPAM. I'm still waiting for those cards to come back. I'm still there working, having, new news. So come and ask. We're here on Central, really close.
Okay, thanks again for your time, Maribel.
Thank you.